Hello, gents. Thanks so much for taking the time to do this. I'm here with CEO Leo of Celebrity Esports, Leo Skagerlind. Is that how I say your second name, Leo?
Yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah, Skagerlind, but I'll give you that. That's 8 out of 10. Yeah, there you go.
It's not bad for a first attempt, I think. And the former dragon himself, Richard Farleigh. Is it Richard? Do you prefer Ricky or Rich?
You can call me whatever you like, mate. Rico. Aussie friends call me Rico, but you can go with Richard. I don't know, whatever.
Does that mean we're friends? Are we friends now?
People call me Dick, and they don't even know my name's Richard.
All right, Dick Farleigh it is then.
Dick Farleigh.
Right, so look, I'm going to be perfectly honest. Looking at you two, I'm not getting hardcore gamer. And so basically, I'm just wondering what brings you guys into the world of gaming? What brings you into the dimly lit spare room of a 31-year-old man who constantly takes shit from 16-year-olds about how bad he is at Call of Duty?
I'll go first on that one. I think, I'm not into watching, 31-year-olds in their bedrooms through a webcam. So that's definitely not my style. But I'm getting involved purely because of what we did last year for the NHS Cup, which is what we set up and created Celebrity Esports, which is a whole different angle on esports, which maybe opens or turns on the light, shall we say, as you said, a dark in a room, is giving people an option to view, watch, get involved, play alongside well-known people on light-hearted games where you don't have to be spending 8 hours to be great at Call of Duty or Fortnite, which are, for my age group, nearly 40, difficult games to more than 3 buttons and I'm done. So we're trying to bring games that are a bit more light-hearted, a bit of Sonic, a bit of Mario, whatever it might be, where anyone get involved, family, young and old, and can just enjoy playing as a family, communicating, and having a bit of fun. That's what we want, is just to entertain the world with well-known people and the members of the public playing alongside a celebrity.
Excellent.
I think Leo's got it dead on. We want to take it away from the 31-year-old people just living in their bedrooms. We want to get it out there. We want young people, old people of all walks of life. We want kids playing. We get them out of the classrooms, get them into the playing games, get them, get the world, get serious here.
I'm sure the parents will be happy about that.
There's socializing, reflexes, fast thinking, problem solving. Let's instead of learning the flags of the world and and learning how to spell cucumber, let's learn some decent skills. But no, seriously, it's also about getting. It is that. But it's also, so it's about broadening the take. So, you can imagine, like say a 15-year-old kid playing esports, and his mum, he tries to show his mum, she's got no interest. My kids have done it to me, my teenage kids. Have a look at this. I'm like, yeah, fine. And like suddenly you've got some celebrity or someone interesting or someone making jokes, and you're like, oh, hang on, what's he doing? And he's worse at it than I would be. So, it's going to democratize the esports world.
Excellent. So is that what brought you to Celebrity Esports then, Richard? Is it that, or is there more to it? Why are you a part of Celebrity Esports?
Well, I'm a businessman, so I got involved to make a profit. I got involved. Well, that's, it's all for, but normally you do business, obviously you've got to keep an eye on the numbers, but you like to do stuff, for me, I've had more than 100 startups and you like to do stuff that's fun, that's interesting. So, that it's and working with great people, like working with Leo and yourself, that's a fun thing. So, and I think it is a good, there was some research out of Oxford University, November last year, just saying that it can be positive for people to play, or on average, it is positive for people to play sports. It doesn't lead to mental health problems or addiction. In fact, it's the opposite. It gets people mixing and making them feel better. Gets people talking. My kids get together to play esports. So, otherwise they wouldn't. They'd probably sit in their room eating pizzas, watching TV. So at least, they're mixing. They're doing things.
Excellent. Yeah. So, in your opinion, at the moment, how happy are you with the progress of Celebrity Esports, where we're at currently, about to launch the second year? How happy are you with that? And that's kind of an open question for the both of you, I guess.
For me, I've having backed so many businesses, the first year is normally a research project. Normally it's a slog. It's really just to see if the idea will work. You normally got to be prepared to lose a lot of money and then go around and beg your friends and your family to bail me out and keep it going. I mean, celebrity esports is just hitting the ground running. It's amazing the interest we're getting from sponsors, celebrities, and viewers. And, we've had a dry run with the NHS that happened last year, with the NHS videos, and they just went phenomenally well. So as a new business, I've never seen anything like it.
Great. Yeah, and you touched on the sponsors there. Leo, do you have anything to add on the sponsor side of it? And
yeah, I'll be totally agreeing with Richard. We're 10 months in as a company. We haven't even hit our 12-month anniversary yet, and so for us, the brands we're working with, Now TV, Yodel, Sony, big corporations who are actually paying attention to us where we are signing six-figure number deals for us is phenomenal, because the attachment to what we're going to do, how we're going to get the viewers, and obviously the celebrities. To be talking to these companies at the levels we are, what we want to do this year is, I think a testament to the team that I've put together, how hard we work, and everyone knows in my team how hard we're working. We're literally doing 15, 18-hour days every day, 7 days a week. There's no time to sleep, and that's why we've got here so quickly. And it's I thank the brands, the sponsors are supporting us, giving their faith in what we're doing in the project. And when we kick it off in March or April this year, we're going to come with a bang, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Sounds great. So how can you get me Now TV for free? Is that something that we can figure out?
I'll make a quick phone call after this and see what I can do for you, mate. There you go.
Right, so I want to ask the question then, and this is to both of you. If you could play video games with anybody, dead or alive, who would it be?
I'll let Richard take that one.
That's a tough question. It would be someone out of the Bible, like maybe playing Moses or someone, burning bushes. No, I think I'd play Roger Federer, because he I've got a beef to pick with him, because he nicked my initials on his cap, on his hats, and all his t-shirts. He's got RF everywhere. They're my initials, Roger, and I want to play you at Video Sports to get my initials back.
There you go. There's a deal. There's a call out, right?
Yeah, that Richard sounds like Farleigh a call out right there.
Versus Roger Federer at a tennis game online. Let's get it out to Federer. Come on, there we go.
Yeah, let's push it. What about you, Leo? Anybody?
God, I think I would have to take. Anyone in the world? I'd have to take someone like Trump. I want to take on Trump.
Trump.
Actually, yeah, I like Trump. I want to take on Trump. I think he's free. Well, I definitely know he's free. He lost his job, so
yeah,
I definitely know he's free. He's available. So
I think
Mr. Trump,
schedule's wide open.
But the trouble is, if you beat him, there's going to be millions of recounts, and then they're going to get all these crowds are going to be storming the studio. It's going to be out of control. Some guy in a hat.
Brilliant. Well, I think mine would have to be Phil Mitchell, if I'm honest, just because I'd like to beat Phil Mitchell in a fight. So if I could do it over a game of Street Fighter or something, I think that'd be the way.
I don't think Richard even knows who Phil Mitchell is.
And you can always say you beat him. You beat him fair and square.
So I have it on good authority, Richard, that you owned a gentleman's club. Am I right? Oh, sorry, a private members club, I believe is the
my own private member.
Yeah. Was that what they used to call you when you were in there, private member?
Yeah, well, people asked to see it, so I don't know. Well, you know what it's like. Well, no. Where do we go from there? I mean, I was a founder of a club in London called Home House, which actually is a very big private members club, about 5,000 members. But it was a restoration of a beautiful Georgian building. So it's one of the most important buildings, dilapidated buildings. We did the restoration with a lovely manager called Brian Plevas. We did the restoration. Took us 2 years to do it all. Massive, bedrooms, restaurants, gym, the whole bit. Prince Charles came to the opening, and then we had Madonna staying there. It just took off, and now it's a very established London club. And I sold out to bigger and better managers than me about nearly 10 years ago, and I'm still allowed to go there. So all good.
You weren't kicked out then?
No. Well, that's it. As you say, like you gotta buy a club to become a member of one, or set one up to become a member of one.
That's right.
Richard, wasn't there a story back in the day when I was working for you on a day-to-day basis about the yellow tie and why you started it, the polyester yellow tie? Yeah, well, I used to work in Bermuda, and I'd come to London for business, and I'd be staying in a nice hotel, like some central London hotel, something fancy because someone else was paying, but yeah, something fancy, and I'd go to one of the clubs here. And it'd be like a stuffy old gentleman. I've got nothing against stuffy old gentlemen. I am a stuffy old gentleman, but it'd be full of stuffy old gentlemen, sitting in the corner, half of them asleep, and no women, no younger people, and this crazy dress code. And you go down, so go down the bar, like the Connaught or something. They're like, "So you're not allowed in there without a tie." I'm like, "I haven't got a tie. I'm working, I'm a hedge fund manager. I haven't got a tie." And they're like, "Well, we can lend you one." And they pull out this big yellow polyester thing. I'm like, "Okay, if you think I really look better with this, fair enough." And that's why when Brian Cleavis, the manager of Home House, approached me with this idea to set up a club in London, I was very excited because I thought there was a real gap in the market. This is mid-90s. But I said, there's two things, Brian. One is lots of women and no dress code, and then I'll do it. And then I wrote check for millions and millions, and restored this. And then we got this club with lots of women and no dress code. And hey, Joe, we can just do this, Richard. I can just say women, no dress code. He writes us a check for millions of pounds. We're done. What? I said we just say to Richard, there's loads of women and there's no dress code, and he writes us a check for millions of pounds. Yeah, I know. There you go. Yes. Doesn't take much, right? And then you get a private Dragon's Den, it's easy, guys. Just go and say, no, loads of women, no dress code, and you get backing. And just have a private member written on the front of it. Off you go.
Brilliant. So was it successful with the women?
Well, no, it was successful. It's funny, like when I was talking about celebrity esports and launching a new business, it was funny because Home House, even though it's so established now, it was very exciting when it passed the London cab test. You get in a cab and you say Home House. Now they all know what it was. But when you start a place, that is a big milestone. But, when for us, it took a long time to get going. The first 6 months, no one wanted to come. The bedrooms are beautiful. No one had even seen them. And then gradually, it took off, and the early days, the service was so bad because we were a brand new club with 100 people, never worked together before. So the service was all over the place. People started to come because it got a reputation as like the Fawlty Towers of London clubs. You go in there, you order a sandwich, you get a cup of coffee, you order a cup of coffee, you get a glass of wine. Like people, and it might take half an hour, it might come in 3 minutes. So people actually went in there because they found it amusing that the place was run so badly. And there was a lovely fellow on the front desk whose name was Jesus. And I used to say to Brian, the reason he's called Jesus is people walk in and go, Jesus. So again, we had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun with Home House, and we still do, But that's, part of what we're getting with celebrity esports is just having a lot of fun.
Excellent. So I guess bringing it back around to celebrity esports then, and basically entrepreneurship as a whole, have you got any secrets of not secrets, but what's your biggest tip to getting into a new market in entrepreneurship? Because obviously in celebrity esports offering a unique take on gaming and entertainment, and bringing that together, and how do you enter a fresh market as an entrepreneur?
Well, there's sort of, I always think it's a good question, because I always think of businesses as like one or two types. It's one way, established markets where you're competing on price and you've got to do things better than everyone else to get a cheaper price. And then there's a new markets, like the stuff we're talking about, the new products where there's no established, so you can make a lot of mistakes because you can get it wrong because you're not up against a direct competitor, but the idea itself has to be good. And this is one of those businesses where the idea itself has to be good. But what we're doing is bringing together two good ideas, which obviously, esports is massive, like the growth has been phenomenal, and bring in, but it's still seen as quite a niche market. So we're sort of popularizing that and taking it to a bigger market. So it kind of makes logical sense. And we can find out, we can be reactive, we can have me on, and then if people don't like me, kick me off, or, we can change the games. We can evolve and learn a lot as we go along. So it's a good, it's an exciting business to get involved in. And it's not rocket science. It's just using our personalities and seeing what we can come up with.
Yeah. What about you, Leo? What do you think?
I said I'm definitely not anywhere near what Richard's level is. And I say when I worked for him, what I noticed was disrupting markets. I think he's finding, as Richard says, people either follow the trend and they're just better on price. I've always found trying to disrupt the market in your favour can give you an advantage. So finding something new, and I think reggae sauce is one of those disruptors. I think back in the day you could only get Chinese and Indian takeaway or cook at home food in the aisles. When Richard backed reggae on Dragon's Den, that gave us the industry a different option. And now Caribbean food is hugely popular. And I think that was in 2007, I think that was. That kind of changed people's perception of food and what was out there. And now there's an explosion of disruptive foods and disruptive markets. So I've always looked at where can I change the game in my favour, whatever that might be, because I want to have a different idea and a different approach. And I think it doesn't come down to price, because that generally races down to the bottom. Now, what I want to do is trying to give an option to the bigger market that want to get into esports and gaming, because an esports gamer, is someone like me as well, who's 40 and plays probably once a month whilst I can de-stress. But then there's someone like you, Joe, or the audience who probably game more hours than most every day when you shouldn't be gaming. So what we want to do is disrupt that market and bring those people who are interested in celebrity or viewing or a bit of gaming, and they can get a takeaway and then hopefully get into gaming, and who knows where they can go. So we kind of want to be the entry door to the market, which is very, very light-hearted, very, very chilled, and a bit of a laugh, really.
Great stuff. So we talked about reggae sauce just briefly then, and I thought we could use that as a segue into talking about your time on Dragon's Den, Richard. And well, firstly, how was that? How was that? Before Dragon's Den, were you a celebrity, or
I'm not a celebrity?
He's not a celebrity now. I don't think.
Not at all. No, I came up. I did it pretty tough myself. I came up through the care system and spent 3 months in a children's home when I was young, and one of a big family, of 11 kids, and we grew up in poverty. So I'm completely self-made. Went to university, did economics, maths, and then ended up working for the central bank, and then became an investment banker in derivatives, and then as an economist got involved in managing funds. So I've sort of crawled my way along, but I've never been interested, never been that. Even when I was on Dragon's Den, I was not that motivated by being a celebrity, but more by personal growth. So it's been a journey, but being on Dragon's Den was amazing in terms of just changes your life, because it was a very big TV show when I was on it. It hasn't been since. But apparently I was the most popular dragon, Mr. Nice. But it does change your life, because there was 5 or 6 million people watching it every week, and you walk down the street and obviously someone's going to know you. And it's a funny feeling. It's a very funny feeling.
And was that difficult to adjust to, from some sort of being behind the scenes investor to being the guy that everybody knew on the streets?
Well, you always wonder if you're worth it, because you go on TV, like as I say, you're just a normal git, doing business and stuff, and people respect you and everything. But you go on TV and people, if you say 1 and 1 is 2, they think it's brilliant. You know what I mean? Suddenly, the power of celebrity is amazing. So I always wondered if I deserved that. People who had a restaurant for 10 years would write to me to get business advice about their restaurant. I'm like, how could I possibly know more about your business than you? But so it changed my life in a lot of ways. But you don't always feel like you deserve it, but you can have a lot of fun. It opens up a lot of doors.
So
probably wouldn't be talking to you right now if I hadn't been on that silly TV show.
Yeah, absolutely. So how long did you have to sit in those chairs in one day? Did you have to sit in that chair all day long?
We got like lunch and playtime and lunch. No, it's a studio, and it's heavily edited. So only about 1/10 of what's filmed is actually shown. And so you get, there's a lot of off time, and, but they were very true to themselves in that when, you don't see the contestant, you really don't have any idea what's coming on the show. You know nothing about them. So if you're looking at a business, normally you can Google it, you know something about the people, you met them via someone, and there's, you've got some background research. It would literally be you're sitting on that seat, and then suddenly something brand new like a reggae sauce pops up, and you're like, what the hell is this? So even though it was edited, it was very, very real. But the amount of time on the seat was a lot more than you saw, because to make a 1 hour TV show, we spent 10 hours on the seat.
And did you get on with all your with all the dragons? Is there any dragon that you didn't?
I got on pretty. There were some factions developed, and being the friendly sort of mild Aussie, I was like the go-to guy, like trying to bring them together at times. I can't say who the factions were. Duncan and Peter. No, I can't. No, I can't say who any factions might have been or might not have been, right? But I was the guy that sort of got on with everyone, and so I'd be trying to sort it out. And there were some pretty big egos in the room, not just mine.
Big egos in the Dragon's Den?
No. Well, sometimes it would be funny because you're filming, and like if something comes on it which is so patently dumb, right? Sorry to be mean to whoever that was, but something comes on and you're like, it's obvious because that ain't gonna sell, because no one wants a 6-fingered glove or whatever. It's not gonna sell. But that's the reason to get out. I want to get out because I don't want a 6-figure glove. So when you realize something, because you were going to get more TV time if you had a good reason to get out. So it'd be a bit of a competition to get out quick, because you can because you're running out of reasons. Everyone's gone out for decent reasons, and all you got is like, I'm going out because he went out and she went out and he went out. So there'd be that sort of competition. Also to say something funny, and so there was a little bit of competition that way for screen time. It's amazing. You stick a camera in front of people, and then they want more of it. More and more of it.
So I was watching the reggae pitch, and I noticed on there that Peter he kind of cut you off halfway through, and then put his 25K in the pot.
Yeah, gazumping.
Was that a positive? Is that something that maybe you had some choice words about afterwards? Did you want to take the full?
No, because no. To be honest, like I didn't know that Reggae Sauce was going to be the roaring success, that it was going to be. I mean, there was a eureka moment for me with Levi when he came on and sang the song. Because I'm just thinking, I've got no idea about sauces. Like we're doing a taste test. Duncan's gone out straight away because he doesn't like spicy sauces. I've got no idea how this compares to other sauces out there. I don't know how many sauces go around the world. I don't know if Leo can even make this stuff. Like he's been trying to sell it at the Notting Hill Carnival for 20 years. Like, give us a break. And he sang a song, and his guitar string was, all over the place. And then suddenly, and we're asking him questions. It's like, how'd you get a cool name like Levi Roots? And he just like, well, actually, it's Keith Graham, but I just prefer Levi Roots, So at some point, it dawned on me while I'm trying to assess this product, which is a sauce. It dawned on me, the sauce ain't the product. The sauce is Levi. The sauce is Levi. And people are going to love this guy. So, it doesn't matter if he's selling, not the sauce. It's a great sauce, but it doesn't matter what the sauce is. He can put swamp juice in this bottle, and this stuff will sell because of him, and they're going to love him. And I'm like, at some point, I'm like, oh, I'll back this guy, because if we can't get him on the sauce, we'll get him to do something else. We'll get him on stage or something. Anyway, so it dawned on me there. And then, but you never know. So, and actually with the work that's involved, when you back someone, as work goes on behind the scene, getting a contract, getting the money, making sure the company's set up, making sure there's any patents, making sure there's a lot of stuff goes on. So actually, when you do an investment, it's actually quite good to share it with another dragon. And so and then one of the dragons sort of takes charge of the work, which so it works out quite well that way. You get a bit of diversity and you get a bit of help with it. So actually, I normally wasn't that worried when Peter came in, because I thought I'll probably just save me some money because we're going to lose it all anyway. But although I do get annoyed when I read about reggae sauce, Peter Jones, I'm like, give us a break. Watch the footage.
Yeah, he's taking all the accolades there.
Yeah.
Do you ever actually eat reggae sauce?
Yeah, occasionally, yeah. I eat it once a week.
But buy at your local Sainsbury's.
Yes. No, it's a good sauce. But as I say, it's more than the sauce. It's the whole feeling you get being associated with the sauce. It takes you to the Caribbean, to the beaches, to the whatever.
Oh yeah. So I've got a little quick pitch for you then. That sounds like it might be up your street. Here in Yorkshire, we like to do a thing where if we have a bacon and egg sandwich, we put red sauce and brown sauce in the same sandwich. Maybe we could fire up a business deal for that sauce. I was thinking,
right.
You
could make one like the toothpaste, when it comes out and it's got the two colours in the tube.
Yeah. It sounds like you're into it then, yeah? 15 grand or something. We'll talk about it after.
Yeah, what are we going to call it? We're going to call it Yorkshire sauce or something?
I'm not really sure. I was thinking bread sauce, but it already exists, because brown and red. So I think bread sauce is probably already taken.
There's some naughty jokes there. I'm not going to... There's something about snooker and, when the pink's blocked by the brown, go for the red or something. I don't know. Something. Better edit that out.
Okay, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, cool. So, question for the both of you, open question. Have you got any crazy investment stories? You said, Richard, that you'd invested in over 100, you'd had 100 different startups or something like that, you said earlier. Craziest or funniest, most inventive thing that you've got involved in?
Whoa, it's a big, I've got so many, and so many have gone wrong, and so many have been such dumb ideas. But it wasn't a dumb. It was actually with a university, but one of them was I tried to. We were trying the company. It was a company trying to grow fish food, trying to grow algae or little plankton. Actually, trying to grow little animals for fish to eat, because when salmon, for the salmon, you get this nice pink color because they've been eating that sort of food, and when they farm salmon, they don't naturally come out that nice pink color. So there have been cases where they were giving them artificial coloring, which is carcinogenic. So there was a big thing about let's feed them natural food and give them the color that everyone likes, but no one likes white salmon, I suppose. Anyway, so we fast forward. We're trying to grow this food, thinking we're onto something here. We're making fish food in this giant big vat thing, and I'd sort of half guaranteed the company, but I wasn't really involved that much. And then I got this urgent emails and phone calls. This is back in the 90s or early 2000s, and urgent contact me, and the thing had busted. And all the algae, all the plankton was swamping some university or some warehouse or something. It was just like, anyway, that was the end of that company. So I never really. Anyway, I can give you their number if you like. You can get involved, and you might have an.
Richard, didn't you own a diamond mine in Sierra Leone or something? Was that?
Yeah, I owned a diamond mine.
How did that come about? How do you buy a diamond mine?
Well,
how did you do that?
It was a guy in a pub. It literally was a guy in the pub, and he had he owned this thing. I bought most of it from him, and we tried to make money out of it. And there's a lot of diamonds in Sierra Leone, and we were doing it in a very ethical way, because ethical diamond mining and helping the local community there by growing food, rice for them. We refill the holes. We would give them a lot of food and all that kind of stuff. So we were doing it as sort of semi-charitable, but trying to make money. But you know how many diamonds I saw out of that? It went on for 2 years. Do you know how many diamonds I saw out of it?
No.
None, not one.
Not
it's got a lot of zeros. It's got a lot of zeros in the number. The trouble is there's no other number in front of the zero.
You got not one
stuff just went wrong. Yeah, stuff just went wrong. And, we was very primitive. You basically had a guy with air blowing into his mouth, diving into a river with a huge sort of vacuum cleaner, sucking up, rocks and things from the bottom of the river. And no one was allowed to drink on the site. There's about 100 people on the site. No one was allowed to drink, but he's allowed to have a drink, because if you go down there, you do 6-hour shifts. Imagine and he had no regulator. It wasn't like you could breathe in and out. It was just like continual blowing into your mouth. Anyway, we just couldn't get it to work. And then obviously, unfortunately, there were coups in Sierra Leone, which the British government did a great job later of sorting it all out. But with the coups, we just basically, I've got some equipment in the jungle out there somewhere, but I haven't been out to try to find it.
Well, Richard, I mean, the last person you want to be taking business advice from is me, and the last person that should be giving you business advice is me. But maybe you shouldn't take diamond hotspot advice from a guy in a pub.
Yeah, and actually, he didn't look wealthy or anything. It wasn't like he was making a lot of money out of his time. It wasn't even a scam. It wasn't even like, look what I've got, my Rolls Royce and all the rest of it. I've got a diamond mine. It was like, Jesus, mate, times are tough.
Yeah. Was that not a red flag when he pulled up in his Ford Mondeo and said, "Oh, I've got a diamond lead for you"?
Yeah. Well, remember I said I've done some dumb stuff. I mean, I always say business is common sense, but I've learned most. The one benefit out of doing 100 businesses is I've had 100 fuck ups. I've done 100. I've done 100 dumb things, and each time I do one, I go, "Oh, I won't do that one again." Next time, no buying anything from anyone in a pub.
There you go. Yeah.
I learn fast.
Excellent. So, in the interest of sharing knowledge, then you've given me so much information today about entrepreneurship. I've been noting all this down. I'll email you with my startup soon enough for my brown and red sauce combo. But I wanted to share some of my knowledge with you guys, if that's okay, because you guys are entering the esports world, you're entering the gaming world, and what I want to do today is I want to test you on your gaming lingo, the kind of things that us gamers say in competitive multiplayer matchups. Okay, so I've got 5 phrases. You may have heard of some of them. You may be able to guess some of them. You've probably heard of none of them. But I want you to try and guess what they mean.
Can you tell me what a competitive multiplayer matchup is?
He doesn't even know that.
I'm panicking already.
I believe it's called esports.
Yeah. Well, I had a problem because, we put out this news break the other day about me getting involved in celebrity esports, and a mate of mine who's about my age, so maybe his eyesight's not what it was, but he's like, he misread the celebrity esports, and he thought it was celebrity escorts. he's like, oh, that's a good business. Yeah, celebrity. Yeah, well, I didn't know they'd get that. Oh, yeah, we'll get some celebrities. Yeah. They want to do it, actually. They really enjoy it. What? They really enjoy their celebrity escort. What? No, esports, not escorts. So, go horribly wrong just on one letter.
Was it the guy you sold Homehouse to?
It's a guy I bought the mine from, the diamond mine.
Yeah, be careful on the spelling of that. Yeah, it could go. This could go seriously wrong.
Yeah, end up on some dodgy websites. Okay, so the first one.
It all went wrong, and we're going to film them doing it. There's a competition to see which one's best at it.
Yeah.
And we're getting sponsors. People sponsor to watch them.
Yeah.
Anyway, so sorry to distract you there. I'm just want to do anything except answer this exam questions.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's definitely deflecting it. He's scared to lose. Here we go. Right, come on, it's a competition. So.
All right. So, where are we? The first one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you the phrase, and then I'm going to tell you. I'm going to put in a sentence for you. Okay. So, number 1 is AFK, and we would say, "Where's Dave? I think he's AFK."
FK.
AFK. Any ideas? Wildest guess.
Well, we know what the F is, so we don't have to worry about that one.
I've got it. Oh no, I was going to say another fucking kill, but you're not going to say that, are you?
That's a good effort. That's a very good effort.
It's a place he's at, is it? AFK.
Yeah. So where's Dave? I think he's AFK.
He's
Time's up, guys. Dave is away from the keyboard. It's when you're playing a multiplayer and you've just got one player stood there doing nothing. Right? So this is lingo
that should be AFTK.
Away from keyboard then. Away from keyboard.
Thought I was bad at spelling. AFTK. Okay.
Don't have the same ring to it.
Go on then.
All right, number 2 is GG, and it is said at the end of a round or a match as a sign of respect. You got it, Richard. Go on. Go on.
Good game.
Good game.
What?
GG, Richard. GG. All right, so Richard's in the lead.
Damn.
Okay, this
right,
one. This one is rage quit. I think Dave has rage quit.
Yeah.
You got that? It's a pretty easy one.
Yeah,
rage
quit
that
one.
Yeah.
I'll let Leo go first on that one because that's an easy one.
Well, I can't even get him on the spot here. Rage quit.
Yeah, he's rage quit.
Yeah, he's okay. Well, he's had his time's up, Leo. He did so badly. He's got the shits and he's wandered off to have a beer.
It's absolutely that. Abruptly abandoning the game,
Well,
most commonly out of rage or frustration.
Rage quit. It's like,
do you know what? Guys, you can do it. I'm out. I'm done.
Leo's just rage quit.
This is just ridiculous.
He didn't have a GG.
I think there's been an inside trade here. I think there's been a conversation.
Leo didn't have a GG, so he has a rage quit, and now he's AFK.
I'm going to fucking kill him.
See, I can already do one sentence with all of them in.
Killed it. Brilliant.
Brilliant. No.
All right, we've got
That's
two
why
more.
I'm chairman. That's why I'm chairman, and he's just the CEO.
Yeah, don't worry. Yeah, I'm just...
All right, so the next one is grinding. Now, I'll give you a clue. This isn't the kind of grinding that you might be...
That's a dodgy app.
No,
Leo knows all about
grinder.
that.
If you look at Richard's phone now,
Right, so grinding.
Go on.
It's not the kind of grinding that you may be used to from home house or whatever. So it's a different kind of grinding.
Is it like in chess, being a chess player, which is right up there on this celebrity? Well, it's not really, but but where you grind them down, where you just like wear them down rather than going for the kill.
It's not, but it's a good effort. It's a very good effort. Leo, any ideas?
Grinding. Is it shuffling on your chair, like you just...
Jesus Christ. Is it what you do with your teeth when you're stressed?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's good effort, but it's repeating a section or level in a game, usually for in-game rewards or to strengthen your character. It's like playing the same level, you're grinding it out, getting your character stronger. Okay.
Okay.
And then the final one is noob. Wow, Dave, you are such a noob.
You're newbie.
Leo's on the scoreboard, coming in with 1.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
at least it's a score.
He's basically someone who's bad at the game or playing it wrong. So, yeah, I think Richard takes that one, though, hands down. So,
it's close.
Yeah.
I think Leo gets a bonus point for his grinding impersonation.
So, yeah. You done that before, have you, Leo?
I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to get myself in a really bad hole right now. So I'm not going to get into it. No. Let's move on. Let's get next question, yeah?
Yeah, cool. So, one of you can card count now. I don't know who it is, but...
it's definitely not me, because I can't count to 5. I think it's Richard,
right,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that Richard's got the card counting skills.
You got some card counting skills, Richard? And if so, can you teach me? And do you fancy a trip to Las Vegas?
Yeah, I used to be a bit of a card counter, and I went to Atlantic City, and I kind of got banned from a casino. It's a long story, but I haven't been back. I mean, they got some big bouncy bouncers, I used to be able to count cards at blackjack, and when it's not like you just win overnight. You get a slow grinding advantage, where you pull out an advantage, and so I did that, and I've had quite a bit of success. But now they've increased it. They basically do shuffles all the time. So this is in the days where they did manual shuffles and stuff, But now they've just got so many, and there was only 6 packs, so it was possible for someone like me to count them. But with the way they shuffle them now, it's just impossible. But back in the day, I used to be a card counter.
So is that how you got the money for your first startup?
No, that's what I used the money from the first startup on.
Oh. Great
but
stuff.
I went card counting with a mate of mine who doesn't card count, and I can't drink when I'm card counting. There's two things when you're card counting. You've got to do a couple of things, and obviously they're trying to watch out for you. And there might be six people at the blackjack table, and you've got to obviously your head's got to go like that. Normally people are playing blackjack; they're just looking at their cards. They're chatting away. But obviously, if you're counting cards, you've got to do that. And also the bet pattern. Most of the time you don't want to bet because it's a lousy odds. But suddenly, 1 out of 4 or 5 shuffles, the bets will get really good for you, and you want to suddenly bet. So if you've been betting $1, you're waiting for that. So suddenly you want to bet $10. So your betting pattern goes little, and then it goes boom. So it's pretty easy to spot. But my mate who was with me, I was telling him what to do by counting the cards, but he was drinking. He got so smashed that the croupier had come round thinking that I'm counting cards. He'd seen my mate think there's no way they know what the hell they're doing. It was just being lucky. So I cleaned up big one weekend, and then I gave him. He didn't know how much money he had, and the next morning he got up with such a hangover, and I said, "You're a lucky bastard because here's your share," which was a lot of money, and you got more than I did, you bastard. But that's just how it works out. You're lucky. I'm honest.
There you go.
Amazing. But then I did eventually get banned, so. I hope they're not watching it.
So before we finish, then, Richard, I hear you said that you're a chess player.
Yeah,
I've been known to dabble on Chess 3D on the PS4.
Okay.
I was thinking maybe one time we could set up a little duel, maybe with a wager. You clear my mortgage, and I don't know, do something.
You can pay mine. I haven't got one.
But
I play. I play on Chess Online now because Chess Online's exploded with the COVID. It's huge because you can just play. There's so many chess players, but they're spread very wide. But I've somehow I used to play sort of 5-minute games where you get 5 minutes each, and now I've been playing so much 1 minute. You get 1 minute each, and just bang out. It's like faster than ping pong. You just bang it out. It's like a really fast game. Most chess players don't like it, but for some reason I love. That's my favorite chess. Just where you and I could literally have a game of chess within 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Let's try and set that up.
We should set that up. We should set that up.
Online thing.
I feel a David versus Goliath situation coming on.
Yeah, you can have 2 minutes. I'll have 1 minute. There you go. I'll be generous.
Cool.
Take that, Joe. Take that.
I'll take it. Cool. Well, is there anything else that you guys want to add? Anything else that you want to talk about before we finish? That's pretty much it from me for the questions.
No, well, I know. I just wanted to say, I know we've said that gaming can be good for you, but good for kids particularly, but it can actually be bad. I have to be honest because my kids learned to swear from me playing gaming because the only time I really swear is when I'm playing gaming. I'm like F, C, F, you bastard, you blah, and they're like, Dad, we learned to swear from listening you play frickin' computer games. So it can have a negative